In this video, you'll learn how to sketch angles in what's called standard position. We can do both positive and negative angles. We can stay within one revolution, but we could also go more than one revolution. We'll talk about each of those as we go along. The first angle here that we want to sketch is a 120-degree angle. Now, standard position starts over here on the right side at 0 degrees. Going straight up would be 90 degrees. Straight to the left would be 180 degrees, and straight down would be 270 degrees. So each time we hit an X or a Y axis, we add 90 degrees to what was there before. So if I want to sketch a 120-degree angle, I know that that's a little bit past 90, but definitely not to 180. I'm going to draw in a diagonal that fits that in between those two angles. But then to show how I got there, we're going to start at the 0 and draw an arc all the way over to where we end that angle. That would be a 120-degree angle in standard position. Now we can go past 180 degrees, like the next one here, 250. So if I draw my axis, 250 would land a little bit shy of 270. So I can go ahead and draw on my ending point, but then to show how we got there, draw in the arc to show we started at 0, came around, and that would be a 250-degree angle. Now, not all angles are positive. We can go in the negative direction as well. On each of the prior ones, the positive angle, we started by going in the upward direction. So a negative angle, we're just going to go the opposite way. We'll go in the negative direction. So each axis will go negative 90 degrees apart. So this bottom axis would be 90 degrees. The one straight to the left would be 180 degrees. So negative 90 here, negative 180 there. So the negative 120 would land about right there. And then I just show which direction I went to get there, and that would be my 120-degree angle. So each of those, we drew the axis, drew where the angle stopped, and then we drew the spiral or the arc to get to the ending point on that angle. Now, not all angles lie between 0 and 360 degrees or one revolution. Some of them go past that one revolution. So this first one here is 400 degrees. So if I break this down, I could say that this is 360 plus an extra 40 degrees. So in order to graph this angle, I need to go a full revolution around plus an extra 40. So I'm going to draw the extra 40 here, but then to get there, I have to go all the way around, and then I could end at the 400-degree angle. Now we could do the same thing going in the negative direction. So for the negative 620-degree angle, I could break this down into multiple angles just like we did the last one. So I could say that this is 360 degrees plus the extra 260 degrees. So if I'm drawing this one out, I'm going to go a full revolution plus more in the negative direction. So one full time around would be 360, but then another 270 would put us just a little bit short of that third axis. That would be a negative 260-degree angle. Now this last one, at 1225, if I add up a couple of 360s, it's going to take several to get up that high. So I can do 360 plus a second 360 plus a third 360, and that still only gets us to 1080. And then if I add another 360, I can continue on. So 360 here would get me to the 1080. If I add another 360, that's going to get me to 1440. So I've gone too far there. And so I want to take that 1080, subtract it from 1225, and I have a leftover, not of 360 for this fourth one, but of 145 degrees. So I could add another 145. So if I graph this out, in order to get to that angle, I have 1 revolution, 2 revolutions, 3 revolutions, plus another 145 degrees, which would end me right there. So in order to graph these angles, we need to identify where does the angle start, which is at the 0 position. Is it positive or negative to determine if it's going up or down first, and then determine how many revolutions I need based on how many groups of 360 I can form.